welcome to Dallas.
Thank you so much.
Billy and Jimmy, right? Right.
Yeah.
You used to have another name, but not anymore.
I have a lot of names in the
She
show.
does.
He calls me by many different things.
Oh, I
So,
hope
yeah.
there are no four-letter words.
No.
Okay.
They're all very nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, the first thing I just think the lyrics of Ira Gershwin are so delicious. They're words that you just want to taste. So, what are your favorite rhymes, or what are your favorite that just, surprising or fun, and you love to just play with each time?
You know, I think one of my favorites is the opening number that we have, Sweet and Lowdown. I guess the feeling of it is a lot different from the songs later in the show. So it's the opening number, we're in a speakeasy, it's really gritty and kind of dark in a way, and the rhymes are just so sticky is the word that comes to mind when I guess sing them, because he is a little inebriated, but I don't know, he's just so down to earth in that moment, and so are the lyrics, and the music is just so, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. But some of the rhyme in that one is, grab a cab and go down to where the band is playing, where milk and honey flow down. Oh God, it's
good.
It really is. It's so, the imagery in these lyrics are just awesome.
Your opinion?
I actually like the alliteration of some of the lyrics. Every time I get to say lost lamb and someone to watch over me, I get really excited because
It's a beautiful, beautiful image.
Yeah, and because he uses alliteration, and but not for me when she says fool to fall. They do that a lot where they put these the two words together, and saying them for acting purposes makes everything
it
so
brings
easy.
the emotion there.
It makes it so easy for me to be in the moment because they're just so lost lamb. You just instantly are put in this place. I love that about some of those. My favorite rhyme, I don't know what my favorite rhyme would be. When we get into It's Wonderful, I like the rhymes in that. Because they're so silly in that part. My dear, it's four-leaf clover time.
Yeah.
From now on, my heart's working overtime. It's just so, it works so well for that scene, and it's just so silly that it instantly it brings me to such a happy
cheerful
place.
I think it really is awesome that somebody can think of things like
Brilliant.
that.
Right?
Yeah.
And the emotion is there in the lyrics, and it just brings us to that place instantly, and brings the audience to that place too.
And they were really he was really the only one to figure out how to say things that way. I mean, in the spectrum of music, to write lyrics that were so odd at times. I mean, some of the songs in the show are so very weird.
Yeah.
Delicious is one of the songs, and it's so very weird, and I never heard it, but it's so funny.
And it's just fitting in the story itself too.
Yeah.
Well, what's not to love about you say either and I say either?
Right. Oh my gosh.
And that turns into something, I think my favorite thing about the direction of this musical is the way they take songs like that, and suddenly we're using that song as a plan for me to not get arrested. We're trying to pretend like we're a fighting couple on their honeymoon. And you take a song that originally is, like a sweet Ella and Louie sort of style, and now we're turning it into a scene.
A secret plan.
It's a scene, yeah. It turns into a real, we need those lyrics to...
The songs are integrated with this script so brilliantly.
Yeah.
And it really does. It just favors the drive of the show and these songs. My goodness.
Well, I heard you talking about a song that you sing, Will You Remember Me?
Yes.
And I did a quick research, and it was in Lady Be Good in 1924, and it was cut. And I have the book with me. Look who was starring in Lady Be Good. Fred and Adele.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
But isn't
That's so
isn't that
interesting.
fun? And
I wonder where that song came from. We didn't know.
But see, that's 90 years ago.
And it was cut.
It's cut.
And that's why nobody really remembers it.
Yeah.
But when it's in this show, it's such a touching moment.
Very beautiful.
And the song ends with one really dissonant chord at the very end, and it just, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous.
That's so fun. I didn't know that was what it was from.
Alex, where are you from originally?
I'm from Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah, pretty close to Dallas. I've actually come down to Fair Park a couple times to see some tours, and but yeah,
Where'd you go
Oklahoma.
to school?
I went to OCU.
Okay.
Yeah, at Oklahoma City University.
That's right.
But yeah, I was born and raised in Tulsa, and then went there for college, and graduated in May.
You see, you fulfill what a friend of mine has always said. All the talent in this country is in the center part of it, but you have to go to one coast to the other.
That's
Yeah.
so true. It is.
That's true.
I mean, it was a big step going from Oklahoma to New York City, but it was a needed step, and it's really fun though to be kind of back opening this tour in the Midwest.
Did you
and
sing as a kid?
I did, yeah. I started when I was really young. I did a lot of community theater and then regional theater in Oklahoma, and then my mom actually worked for Celebrity Attractions, who books a lot of the tours in like Oklahoma and some of the Midwestern cities. So I grew up going to a lot of the national tours coming through Tulsa and Oklahoma City. So that's where my love grew for it.
Mariah or Mariah?
Mariah.
Mariah.
I guess it's
like do you say like I Call the Wind?
Yes.
Mariah?
Yes.
You know, okay.
Yes.
You have that. And where are you from?
I'm from Boston.
Really?
Really? Yeah. I sort of grew up on Cape Cod, and my family still lives there, but I've lived in Boston now for 8 years or so. So, I call that home still.
So how did you start your career?
I started last year. I toured with American Idiot, which is a very different musical. But I started just like I actually started the tour. I came in as a replacement, and I came on 3 days after I graduated. I started from Emerson College in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Graduated, and then joined the road. And we went to Asia. Was my first stop. We went to Tokyo. And we went to Seoul, Korea.
Gosh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was an interesting. That was a life changer. But yeah, and then toured with this, and then it was the same producers, and got in for an audition for this, and have now been on this, which is really exciting.
Do you come from a family who sings and dances?
I come from a very theatrical family. My dad was my theater teacher in high school.
Oh.
And my mom is a singer, but she'll never sing in public, which drives me absolutely nuts because she's got this gorgeous voice, and she sings in the shower, and it's like Barbara Streisand's upstairs. And then she'll never sing in public. It drives me absolutely nuts. And I think that's where I get it from. My dad can sing too. My sister does not sing. She tries. She's pretty good. She's getting better. But we definitely are a musical and theatrical family. I was definitely the musician of the group as a kid. I played all sorts of instruments. I still do. And grew up playing in orchestras this music before I ever sang it. And that for me is when we first got our orchestra, the first day we got the orchestra, that for me was a big, that was a really exciting moment, because I remember playing songs like that, and now to be able to sing with an orchestra that's playing it for me is just,
it was gorgeous.
Very
I mean, in
satisfying.
rehearsals, we just heard these songs with just a piano.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to Tech in Clemson, and all of us sat in the audience, and the orchestra played these songs. And
some people cried.
yeah, half of us were in tears.
Yeah.
It was it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have to go back to, you're talking about in high school with Dad.
Mhm.
Did you get to call him Dad at school? Or
I did.
Or did you
Yeah.
have to call him Mr.?
No, I called him Dad. I sort of was raised in that high school. I had been there since I was a kid, running around. And I think for him, I was going to be a musician, sort of classical with instruments, and then it sort of took a turn very late in my high school career where I thought maybe I want to do music and theater, which led me to musical theater. And I think for him, when I was younger, he always said, don't go into the arts, don't go into theater, you'll never, do anything. But then now that I've become successful and I'm doing what I love to do, I think it's the most proud I think you could ever be. So it's pretty exciting for him.
Okay, while nobody's listening, tell us the biggest surprise of
In the
being
show?
in the show.
Like plot-wise?
Anything, just the biggest, like, what you expected when you started and what's happened up until now that just blew your socks off, or
Biggest surprise.
No.
no?
I mean,
surprises?
biggest surprise was us trying to learn Swonderful.
Yeah, well, there's some really, when I watched the choreography of Swonderful on stage, I thought, oh, those are nice dance moves, those are easy. And then when we learned it,
Oh my goodness.
and every night it's still like, gosh, this is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
We really have to be in the moment, because we're all over the place.
Yeah.
We're dancing on furniture, And you have to just be so, if you forget where you are for a second, then
You'll
you're
be
gonna
screwed
you'll
up.
fall
Yeah.
over the table, you know?
See, I think football players have it so easy.
They
Because
do.
they can beat up on one another,
That's so
knock each
true.
other down, and everybody goes yay. And you can do the same thing on stage,
Yeah.
but it has to always look easy.
And you
Of
have
course.
to protect each other. More
Yeah.
than anything, you have to make sure that it's safe, which we try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's our
And
priority.
fall in love during that
And
number
fall in love,
anyway.
and act, and sing, and do all these things. Yeah, it's.
Well, we're
that's
glad
what-
you're here. It's
It's fun to be here.
wonderful
It's wonderful.
for you to be here. Thank you so much for taking time
Thank
to talk
you.
to us.
Appreciate it. It's nice to meet you.
Welcome.